Let's look at the chakras. As with everything, we can look at the chakras from the hierarchy. We can look at the frequency or pitch of chakras, which we'll do. We'll look at the timbre, which are instrument sounds, and syllables, which we'll do. And musical intervals, I had this one student, she actually wrote a book on correlating different chakras and the musical interval relationships between them for different issues. So you could actually, run love from your heart chakra through the throat chakra and out your voice. But she worked with musical intervals even between the chakras. And then we're going to be looking at the music for different chakras, what music is most evocative of each chakra. But really, the energy is the most important aspect of each chakra. And the energy of the chakras, just a quick overview, is we got the root chakra, which is about uh, connection to earth, often about abundance and career, money, and grounding. And yeah, somebody. Oh, and um, then we've got which is at the base of the spine or even lower at the perineum. And then we got the sacral chakra, which is about sensuality and pleasure. And some people say it's about emotions, but especially sensuality. And that's just below the belly button. And then we got the solar plexus, which is about personal power and ability to channel. Some people actually channel uh, information through the solar plexus. They also say, Alice Bailey says it's the center of the emotional body. It's where the emotional body is centered, is the solar plexus. And then the heart chakra is about love, 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 relationships, self acceptance, love, 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 love. Right? And that's, of course, right at the thymus or around the heart. Some people say the thymus is the high heart. And then the throat chakra is about self expression. It's about look, I've seen creativity at every chakra, but creativity works well at the throat because we can get so creative with the voice. It's one of the easiest things to get really creative with. But it's really about self-expression. And then the third eye is about intuition, sense of purpose and focus, really clarity of mind and clarity of direction in life. The crown chakra is really about connection to source. It's all about connection to source. When it opens up, you get connected to source. Mm. So there's a lot of different information that people have come up with, but this is just a quick overview. So let's look at the instrument sounds and the music associated with each chakra. So I do a treatment. I charge like I think $108, where we actually I do an intake and go through and ask questions about every chakra, which we'll do later and show you all the questions. And then I use different instruments and for each chakra and do a whole harmonizing of every chakra. And because of the intake, I know which ones really need work. And so this is really, really cool. So let's talk about the actual instruments you might use for each chakra. First of all, you can use the voice for every chakra. You could just do voice only. You could just do, low frequencies for the root chakra, high frequencies for the crown. You could get into the notes, but I actually prefer frequencies instead of notes. So just low and high, not worry about the actual notes. So you could totally do a whole chakra treatment just with the voice on someone. Right? Of course, there's the frosted bowls. They're even labeled for the chakras for each note. C, D, E, F, G, A, B are labeled for the each of the seven chakras. Um, Although again, I actually prefer frequency instead of notes. I don't subscribe to the notes very well. A lot of people do. I'm not a baby tosser. A lot of people really into the notes. I, but I prefer frequency. So regardless of the note, I would use a big bowl with low frequencies for the root chakra and a small bowl for the crown chakra, regardless of the note, just because that's a higher octave and it's a lower octave because it's bigger and smaller. Right? So you could do it either way. So you can do a whole treatment and get of just based on bowls, or just buy a whole 7 bowl set of chakra set, and use them. Use the notes if you want. I like, you can also do a whole chakra treatment with the alchemy bowls. Again, the alchemy bowls have different metals and elements and crystals and gemstones in them. And you can use it based on notes, or you could use it based on frequency. But you can also choose the alchemy bowls totally based on the gemstone or crystal or element or metal that's embedded in it. There's whole books on what gemstones and crystals are best for each chakra. I've got a whole set of just gemstones next to my bed that I use for different chakras. And I didn't even look them up. I just, over the years, I said, oh, this black one, no, I'm going to use that for the root, right? And so you can totally choose it based on the crystal or gemstone embedded. You could totally choose it just based on the color, right? I mean, I really like the for the heart chakra, the rose quartz, or the uh, anything pink or red, right? So you could totally. Actually, I really like the 24 karat gold for the root as well. So you can use a lot of other criteria besides the notes or frequency of them as well. And then Tibetan bowls. You can totally buy a Tibetan bowl set based on the notes. But, I actually prefer the really big ones for the root chakra. I've got an e-bowl, which would not be the root based on the notes. And I use that for the root and the second chakra all the time because it's huge. It's 12 inches. It will vibrate. It vibrates you intensely. Right? So again, I actually prefer frequencies as opposed to notes. But you can do it either way you like. You can do it totally on tuning fork. You could do it based on the notes. We sell sets. Randy makes a set of based on the frequencies of the chakras. So you could totally use the tuning forks for that matter for each chakra. Right? So there's a lot of different possibilities of instruments you can use. And any melodic instrument has all the notes. So you could use a melodic instrument for it, for the chakras if you wanted to. You could use um, whether it's a hand pan or crystal harp. We'll play with those in a bit. So then let's look at the root chakra and what people use commonly. We commonly use the frame drum for the root chakra. It's my favorite. I like using the frame drum because you can play it over the body and not touch the root chakra because you get in trouble with the root chakra, right? So you can get it right on the above the body so they feel the vibration, but you don't actually touch them, right? Gongs are really good. The bigger the better because the bassier the bigger. Bigger the gong, more bass you have. Bass is the deal for the root chakra, which includes the didgeridoo as well, or any bass instruments. Again, a big Tibetan bowl. Whoa, it's like powerful. Could use cello, acoustic bass, mother drum, like this huge 60-inch drum, timpani. Let's bring in the elephants and the whales, right? A lot of people like to use instruments based on the element of the chakra. The root chakra is earth. That's the element. So you could use a clay flute made of earth or a wood drum. Right? So uh, choose the instruments based on the elements. Japanese taiko drumming. Oh my God. If you haven't seen Japanese, oh, get your headphones. Everybody get headphones. Headphones are really helpful tonight. We got a lot of bass going on tonight. Okay. So check this out. Oh my God. Right. Japanese taiko drumming. Serious bass. If you haven't If you haven't been to a Japanese taiko concert, oh my God, they're so cool. I used to have a girlfriend that was a Japanese taiko drummer. They've got drums twice as big as that, right? And it shakes the whole place. It's so cool. Really good for the root chakra. Okay. And then there's also throat singing. You get a room full of monks doing that, and that's really grounding. Also, anything with a lot of bass in it, like electronic, like rap, or any deep house music, EDM, anything with a lot of bass is really grounding for the root chakra. Uh, Trance. Right. Okay. For the second chakra, cello's good. Djembe, which is the more like the metal um, conga, and that's really good because it gets the hips moving. Right. I commonly use a rattle or a shaker over the second chakra, and I commonly use Tibetan bowls on the second chakra to clear out any energy there. And then bass flute. Also, the ocean drum, because the element of the second chakra is water. So you can use the ocean drum or a rain stick. I know people have actually poured water from one cup to another, and so you can hear the sound of the water. Right. That's kind of cool. The music would be belly dance music. It's the main second chakra music, which is mostly djembe. Right? And tribal house, anything with a lot of drumming that gets you moving. Okay, third chakra, you got the Tibetan horn, which is the 10-foot horn. Oh my God, again, got a lot of bass. Right? Can be really cool. Could be the actual root chakra as well, but it's really I like horns for power. Uh, And then there's the shofar, which is the elk horn that brought down the walls of Jericho. We got one at the school, really powerful. I like basically any horns, could be the French horn is good, even trumpets, right? But screaming electric guitar, bang, right? Very powerful. And I like to do an open E chord right, on my acoustic guitar just to work the third chakra. Tibetan bowls I commonly put on the third chakra. Um, and then the element is fire, so you can use instruments with fire once, and then they're gone. Japanese taiko drumming, still really powerful, right? Or hard rock music, bang, right? Intense classical, ba-da, ba-ba-ba-ba, right? Probably the most incredible third chakra music is opera. I mean, opera is the ultimate of power through the voice. I mean, it's like so third chakra, right? It's just the best for third chakra. Okay. Okay. Then we got the heart. And the main instrument for the heart people think of is the harp because of the nylon strings. It's got an even harmonic, it's got a warm sound. Although, if you do the sound of love, no one ever goes pluck, 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 pluck. They all do, everybody does a sustain note, right? And so I like instruments that do sustain notes, which could be a crystal bowl, but string section is my favorite for the heart chakra. Cello, piano, alchemy bowls. I commonly use the pink or a gold alchemy bowl, or even the uh, rose quartz alchemy bowl for it. The free note xylophone, I'll play that for you in a little bit. And the sansula, really heart opening. A handpan or the rav drum that we have, I'll play that for you too in a bit. And the flutes, the element for the heart chakra is air. So any woodwind instruments that anything you play with the breath is good for the heart chakra. The music would be sonatum choir, deva primal, and choral music. Got a little bit of Deva Primal. Check this out. This is Manos. Manos playing the Sansula.
त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव वन्दनम् मृत्योर्मोक्षममृत मृत्योर्मोक्षममृत
Oh my God. If you haven't seen Deva Primal, it's the best concert ever by far. Have you seen it, Helena? Oh my God. It's like you just want to hug everybody. They just get everybody singing together. They get people standing up and singing, different parts. And then you're like turn and like sing to your neighbor. Oh my God. It's just the best. It's just the best ever. Oh my God. Okay. Especially for love. Okay. Okay. Then there's whoops, the throat chakra. Of course, the voice is the main instrument for the throat chakra, or any woodwind is good. I commonly use tingshas and hit the tingshas together and swing them around the throat. I'll show you that in a little bit. And shakers and rattles to clear out anything around the throat. And even little Tibetan bowls I'll hit and move them around the throat chakra. Probably the best music for the throat chakra is Bobby McFerrin. Oh my God, every instrument is the voice. Let me just play a little bit of this for you. Wow. If you haven't heard the album Vocabularies by Bobby McFerrin, unbelievable. The most creative album ever. It's unbelievably creative. It's such a trip. And it's all voice, all voice. Right? Yeah. So that's good throat chakra. And then we've got for the third eye is little high frequency chime, anything high frequency, bells, chimes, small Tibetan bowl, small alchemy bowls, piccolo, crickets, triangle, or koki frogs, which we'll play in the nature class. Right? High Baroque music, sometimes electronica, right? Can be good, or soprano opera singing with the third eye. Crown chakra, you could use a really high tuning fork above 1,000 hertz, like 4,000 hertz tuning fork. Oh my God, it totally goes up there. Or ting shas, ting, Koshi chimes, which I'll play in a minute. bells, small Tibetan bowls, alchemy bowls, and birdies. Right? And then choral groups for, there's not much music that does it for me for the crown chakra. Choral groups, sometimes it works, but it's often even more hard. Let me play my favorite album from a choral group, and that is Sacred Treasures 3. Check this out. Love this album. It's so beautiful. Could be the heart chakra, right? But you know, yeah, I've got my chakra CD, Chakra Journey. When it gets to the crown, I've got super high tinkly sounds. That really works for me there. There's not much that works for the crown for me as far as music. That's the different instruments. Let me play for you some of these instruments, little video I made in stereo here. Okay, let's start with the frame drum for the root chakra. And then we have the Tibetan bowl for the root chakra. Bring this into your root. Now we have the titanium alchemy bowl. Bring this into your root. Now check in on your second chakra for any stuck energy there or overactivation. And let's release it with this shaker and rattle. And then we'll harmonize it with the Tibetan bowl. Bring this into your second chakra. Now tune into your third chakra. Any stuck energy there? Commonly use a Tibetan bowl for that as well. But it's also about getting back into your power. So let's do a really powerful horn. For the heart chakra, let's start with this pink gold alchemy ball. Bring this into your heart. I often use the crystal harp for the heart, but it often goes up into the third eye and crown as well. See what you think. Then we have the Rav drum. Then we have the Sansua. Then we have the throat chakra. Let's do a little clearing with our tingshaws. And then a little work with the rattle and voice. And then we have our sound healing duck. Always good for the throat chakra. Now let's clear and harmonize the third eye. Let's start with our little Tibetan bowl here, Zen bowl. Bring that into your third eye. Then we got some small tingshaws. Now let's open the crown chakra with our 1111 hertz tuning forks. And then, my little bells, open your crown. And then finally, the Koshi chant. Open your crown. So let's look at the vowels and syllables for each chakra that have been used since the beginning of time. So let's start with the root chakra. And so tune into your root at the base of the spine or down at the perineum, even lower. And let's bring in the Sanskrit name Muladhara. Say it any way you like, but send that sound to your root. Feel your root and send that sound to it. Say it over and over like this. Muladhara, Muladhara, Muladhara. Say, come on, say it out loud. Muladhara. Send it to the root. Muladhara, 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 Muladhara. Jonathan Goldman likes the and you can do it in two different ways. You can do it short, like uh, or you can do it elongated. Try both. Again, do whatever frequency or note feels good for you. Bring it into your root. Uh, 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 uh. Notice which one of all of these feels the best for you. Uh, Then there's the Sanskrit, which is lam, lam. Enunciate the L, lam, and bring that into your root. Lam, 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 lum, lum, lum. And then there's Kay Gardner and Gardner Gordon. They like the eh. I like it because you can go pretty low with eh. Uh, feel that in your root. Uh, the ancient Tibetan warrior syllable is za, za. Send that to your root. Za, 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 za. I like ooh because you can get really low frequency with ooh. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So again, notice which one of those you like the most. And then there's the second chakra below the belly button. Bring in Svadhisthana, Svadhisthana into your second chakra. Svadhisthana, 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 Svadhisthana. And then ooh, 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 ooh. And then vam. Enunciate the V, vam, just below your belly button. Vam, 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 vam. And then oh, 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 oh. And then rum, 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 rum. For the third chakra at the solar plexus, bring in Manipura, Manipura, Manipura. I like the P sound because it's powerful. Money power, Manipura, 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 Manipura. Jonathan Goldman likes the oh, right? Your solar plexus. Oh, oh, oh. And then rum, 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 soothing. Then Aum. 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 But again, with the third chakra, I really like sounds that you can do really powerful and really loudly. And it's hard to do a aum really loud or ram, but whoa or no is really good. So again, on three, which is always four, let's do a really powerful whoa. Okay, so everybody unmute and do it full volume, as loud as you can possibly go. Okay, one, two, three. That's really cool if you're feeling insecure and not good enough in the third chakra. Really good. Hmm. Okay. Heart chakra. Send anahata to your heart with love. Anahata, 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 anahata. Or send that with love to your heart. Ah, ah, ah. And yum, 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 yum. The Tibetan warrior is Hung. Send that to your heart. Hong, 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 hong. I really like the MMM. Mm, 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 mm. Do it out loud. Mm, mm. Okay. For the throat chakra, Vishuddha, Vishuddha. Bring that into your throat. Vishuddha, 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 Vishuddha. Or I, again, whatever frequency or note feels good for you. I try different ones too. I, and then hum, 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 or ooh, 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 om, 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 om. I really like the as a sigh. Ah, ah, ah. Third eye, ajna, ajna. Bring that into your third eye. Ajna, 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 ajna. Feel it right here. Ajna, ajna, ajna. Or a, 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 or sham. I like the sh sound for the third eye. Sham, 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 sham. Or om. Could do it quite high too. Om, ooh, ooh. Or mm. Mm, just a hum. Mm, or ah. Ah, ah. I like E because you can do E really high in pitch and frequency really easily. It's the easiest vowel to do really high. So try E. Again, notice which ones you like. For the crown chakra, open your crown and bring in Sahasar, 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 and E. I feel my crown is way higher than that, but if I do higher, it stresses me out. Squeaking. So I don't open the crown when I squeak. Or if I can go, but that doesn't open my crown. Now I'm like stressing. So do it lower than it really is. Or om. Again, I really like overtone singing for the higher ones because the overtones go higher than you can sing. My favorite, though, is silence. Open the crown with silence. Cool. Okay. Again, notice which ones you like. I find it even changes from day to day, even from morning to afternoon. Sometimes I like different ones. Okay. So I've got this meditation I want to share with you that is really profoundly effective to get rid of panic attacks and anxiety, especially panic attacks. I used to have panic attacks 30 years ago, and I did this meditation, and not only did the panic attacks go away, I was blissed out, and I got rid of all of my Xanax in my pocket and got rid of all fear of panic attacks ever again because I had a way to get rid of them every time. And I've taught this to a bunch of people, and everyone it's worked. I taught it to this woman who runs a $2 billion foundation, my friend Cindy, and she said it saved her life when she had panic attacks. I taught it to this 9 year old, and she totally got it, and it worked for her. So if you know anybody with panic attacks, it's really good to share, but it's just really good. Uh, it feels good no matter what. So what we're going to do is we're going to actually find the frequency of each chakra on your own. So we're not going to give you a frequency, you're going to find it and just play with it. You can't get it wrong, just find it. But we start with each chakra. The first thing I want to check in on any chakra is whether it's stagnant or overactivated. When it's stagnant, I can't even feel it at all. I'm like, where are you at? Where are you at? Right. When it's overactivated, it's like a little tension or a buzz there. So tune in to your root chakra and ask yourself, is it stagnant or overactivated? Hmm. I often have to find my root. I have to get it, get it going. And then here's the questions I mentioned earlier that I ask people when they come in for a treatment. These are in your reader in my book also, besides this PowerPoint. The first question is, how grounded are you? And this is really important. How much are you in your body versus in your head? People commonly are in their head, but people that do yoga or uh, uh, Tai Chi or different practices. Or I do hikes like all the time. I do a little stretching every morning, so I can. I'm a very creative type, so I'm in my head a lot, but I can get in my body really easily. So that's really good. It's so if someone says, "Oh, no, I'm in my head all the time." It's like, "Oh, pull out the frame drum, pull out the Tibetan bowls. We're gonna, put you on the sound lounge for that matter. Vibrate with low frequencies and get you in your body. Put tuning forks on you, right? Get you in your something vibrating, right? It's hard to do vibration at the root chakra though without getting in trouble. So that's why I like the frame drum because you can play it without touching somebody. Didgeridoo's like it's probably the best. It's so good. Sound table's really good too. Okay, so ask yourself, how much are you in your body versus in your head? Right? Okay, now listen, find a note silently at the base of your spine or perineum, a little lower, and get that note humming like a little sphere of vibration at the base of your spine or perineum. So imagine that sound vibrating in your root. Play with different notes, different frequencies, go up and down until you find just the right one for your root. Find it, go find it. Get it vibrating like a little sphere of vibration. It doesn't really matter if you get the note or frequency right. It's more that it's a stable, consistent hum or vowel humming there because we're overcoming the chaos with that stable, consistent tone silently. Now, make it out loud. Ooh, ooh. Nice. Second chakra. Do you hold on to emotions or do you let them go? It's funny, the answers I get. A lot of people are like, I'm getting better at letting them go. I had this guy just last year. He goes, "No, I hold on to him." I said, "Does it affect your digestion?" He said, "Oh yeah." I, so I'm getting out the shaker and the rattle and the Tibetan bowl if they're, holding on to stuff. And then how are you around sensuality? So if you need work in that area, we'll work it. Right? Again, check it for yourself and see if it's stagnant or overactivated. Hmm. Okay. Again, all of these are in your reader and the book. If you've done your reading, you've already got them. So tune in just below the belly button and find a frequency that feels just the right frequency for there and get it humming silently. Now make it out loud. Ooh, 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 ooh. Nice. Okay. Third chakra. Are you above people where you're frustrated, upset, or even angry? Or below people where you're not good enough or insecure? Or are you equal to people in your power? Answers I get are all over the place. Of course, I kind of go through all of them, but I'm quite often equal to people in my power. I, but I have them all. But if someone says like, "Oh yeah, I often feel really insecure, not good enough." Okay, we're doing the no, right? Get back in your power, no, right? So I'll make them do that. Or if they're over people, then you do a really calming sound for the solar plexus. Ooh, right? So notice your solar plexus. Is your solar plexus stagnant? Can't feel it at all? Or buzzing? No. When I get a little upset or frustrated with anything, I get a little buzz there. I like actually putting a tuning fork on it. Actually, it's very helpful. I use crystal on it too as well. But you could use Tibetan bowls and shakers and rattles. Really, really helpful. Uh, okay, so find a frequency in your solar plexus and imagine it humming there really peacefully and calmly and stable. And then make it out loud. It's all about getting peace there with a stable, consistent vibration in each one. Heart chakra. How open is your heart? How much love do you have in your life? It's actually interesting when I look at people before they answer, I found I can't tell at all. Some people I would go, "Oh my God, it looks like your heart might be closed," and they go, "Oh, I've got so much love in my life." I'm like, really? Don't need to work on that one. And then I had this one woman. She goes, "I don't even know what love is. I've never experienced it." I'm like, "Oh, we're going to spend a lot of time on this one." Right? The one really good thing is to have them just send the sound of love to their own heart. Huh? Notice, is your heart stagnant, shut down? Or is it overactive? Or you got too much love in your life? I don't know if I've ever heard of that. Too much love? Get a frequency humming in your heart chakra of love. Imagine it vibrating there, like a little sphere of love right in your heart chakra. And then make it out loud. Cool. Okay. Throat chakra. Are you able to, well, first check in and see if it feels stagnant or overactivated. Mine feels a little scratchy tonight. And then ask yourself, are you able to express yourself freely? It's kind of a big problem for women because men have been squashing the throat chakra of women for tens of thousands of years. Not just in the past, but in the current day. In other countries, it's unbelievably horrible. Saudi Arabia, for one. Some African countries, right? But even the U.S. is still a freaking mess. Women are so shut down by men. Right? But also men don't know how to express themselves in a balanced way. I sure didn't have a mentor. My father was definitely not balanced. Also, can you make sound freely? Are you scared to make sound? If you are, get over it. You're in a sound class. Okay. So, listen for a sound in your throat chakra. It's so cool because, like, even having a little scratchy throat right now, it just feels like a balm. Get it vibrating there. And then make it out loud. Nice. Really good for the thyroid. Okay, third eye. Tune in. Can you feel your third eye? I remember I used to not even be able to feel it at all. Right? And now, quite often, I've got a little third eye headache, so it's a little overactivated. Right? So how good is your intuition? Do you trust it? Is your third eye open where you can see energy inside people's bodies? How good is your vision in life? Get a frequency humming in your third eye. Nice high one. Whatever feels right. Silently. And then make it out loud. That feels good. Okay. Crown chakra. Are you able to connect to spirit at will? Only about 25% of the people ever say yes on this. Most people don't know how to open their crown at all. But if they don't, I'll say, do you have a spiritual practice? Then I can kind of get a sense of how easy this might be to open their crown. Right? So if they're very spiritual, they're right on the threshold. If they're like, oh, I love beer and baseball. Right? Well, we'll try it. We'll try the Koshi chimes and see what happens. Right? So it kind of gives you a sense of whether you can kind of see when somebody's crown is open. They've got the sparkle about them. Okay. Find a frequency and get it humming that feels right. It's often the crown is technically the pineal gland right in the middle of the head, but some people actually go to the top of the head, above the head. So find a frequency and get it humming there. It feels right, silently. And make it out loud. It's too high for me to make out loud. Now let's do a frequency sweep from the crown all the way down to the root, and go slow enough so you can feel each chakra as you go by it, and notice whether it's humming and receiving and transmitting the flow. Right? So go high to low, and feel each one as you go by it. Did you notice any chakras that didn't feel right, or weren't awake, or were still overactivated? If you do, sometimes what I'll do is I'll go back and work on that one a little more, so it will receive and transmit the flow. Right? So now go from the root up to the crown. Again, notice if each one's humming. Ooh. And then down one more time. Just that whole sequence, going through every chakra, gets rid of panic attacks every time for me, and everybody else I've taught it to. I had this woman that lived upstairs in a house previous to this one, and it was the landlord's daughter, actually. She was about 38. She committed suicide upstairs because she was having panic attacks all the time, all her life. I didn't even know. Right? This is so effective. But if someone's having a panic attack, do not ask them to do it out loud. Totally do it silently. Making sound while having a panic attack is not cool. It's way too much work. Never ask anybody to make sound when they're having a panic attack. Right? So it's unbelievable. It's so powerful. And again, by the time I got to the crown, I was just blissed out. The panic attack was not only gone, I was blissed out. So effective. If you got panic attacks, play with it. And if you know anybody, share it with them. You can walk it through them out loud, but don't make them do it out loud. Now, I do this meditation almost every morning for the last 15 years. I do it for almost an hour, quite often with a kitty on my chest. She loves it too. It's really good to also add in the different colors. Now, you can do red for the root, orange, these are the traditional colors, orange for the second, yellow gold for the third, green or pink for the heart, blue for the throat, purple for the third eye, and violet, white, or clear light for the crown. The Tibetan warrior colors, a little bit different. They didn't even have every chakra. But what I like to do also is play with different colors and see which one that chakra needs. Maybe I need a little purple in my root chakra today. Now, let's try out blue. Oh, how about green? Right, how about a pink in the root chakra? Oh, I like the gold today. So instead of using the traditional, you can do a frequency sweep and try different colors and see what feels best that day. Maybe that's what color you need instead of the traditional ones. That's really cool. When I do this treatment every morning, I'm a little lazy. I don't do it out loud. I always do it silently. The truth is, I'm really lazy. I actually bring in archangels and ascended masters for every chakra. I've got a whole group assigned to different chakras that I've come up with over the years. Let me share what I do. This is the Hathor here. So for the root chakra, I actually use Babaji for my feet. Babaji's, oh, unbelievable. Actually, where this started is I was in the hospital for appendicitis, and someone said, Babaji is holding your feet. Christ is over the incision from the appendicitis, and Gabriel is holding open the third eye and crown. I'm like, the hospital room turned into white light for 3 hours. The doctor comes in and says, God, you look great. Well, you need to go home. And then I went home and I thought, wonder if I could do this. I said, Babaji, and then Christ. And when I said Gabriel, I went into a cocoon of white light. I'm like, holy crap, that's never happened before. And so that's where it all started. I use Raphael for the root chakra also because it just sounds grounding. Raphael, Raphael, right? And also Raphael's the healing archangel. So that's a really good one. So then I use Saint Germain for the second chakra, and Saint Germain comes with the purple flame, so often that purple light goes through my whole body, but starts in the second. And Kuan Yin for compassion for all of those times when I'm an emotional mess. Right? And then Michael for the Archangel Michael for the third chakra, he's got a sword of love to cut you down if I'm too cocky, or to actually, if I'm not feeling good enough, it's sort of love to really make you feel stronger. And Kuan Yin for compassion for when I'm above or below people. Christ energy, oh my God, I'm really tuning into Christ energy. It's like intense. I often do Mother Mary and get the love going. Kuan Yin for the heart. St. Francis of Assisi for the throat chakra, Mary Magdalene, and the Hathors. Hathors are really good for the throat chakra. They come through Tom Kenyon all the time. And then for the actual third eye, Gabriel, it's one of my favorites. And the Metatron is really effective for me. And Dijwa Cool is the ascended master that Alice Bailey channels in her books. And since I read that every night for 15 years, I got a really good connection with him. I call him DJ Cool. And so, and then for the crown, I used Toth. Toth invented language. And then Aragon was this little dragon that I just say Aragon and my crown opens. Aragon. Oh my God. So weird. And then I got Eagle Heart. Eagle Heart's this Native American that showed up years ago, actually in Yosemite to start, and has been hanging around for years. And he's really about all chakras. He's heart open, really strong and powerful, totally connected to nature, but seriously heart open. So I it's kind of like all of them at once. Right? So I just lay there. I call them in one by one and just let them do a healing on each chakra. They all know which chakra to work on. And they're total frequency beings already. And it's so I do that and it takes like an hour to go through them all. Sometimes I have the crystals on top of my chakras as well. And it's so effective. Oh my God. I get out of bed, I'm lit up like a Christmas tree. I'm ready to go. So here's your homework. Well, if this is too out there, first of all, don't tell anybody. Right? But if it resonates with you, you can do a search for a list of archangels and a list of ascended masters and see which ones resonate with you. Right? And if it resonates with you, assign different ones to different chakras. Sometimes if I've got like a problem in one chakra, like I'm really upset about something and my solar plexus is just like, right? I'll say, everybody gang up on my solar plexus all at once. I have them all go with solar plexus at once. Okay, fine, cool. Right. So tuning into multiple things at once like this is really cool because I just lay there and let them do the work. So your homework is you don't have to do this, but every do the meditation with every morning for the next week, or you can do it in the afternoon or before you go to bed. But do it like every day for the next week, and find the note of each chakra, and uh, you know, just do it, and then you can do it out loud if you like or not, and get to know it. What's really cool is when you do this over time, if you actually get N-Track Tuner out in your phone, you'll start to find that you're going to the same note and frequency every time, and that's really cool because I believe everybody's got different notes and frequencies for the chakras. It's not standardized. Right? And
David, for somebody like me who was taught both like Christianity and like African spirituality, like where you would use like Saint Germain, could I use like Yemiya?
oh yeah,
Okay. I just wanted to make
yeah,
sure.
yeah. Oh no, no, no! Don't do that.
Yes!
You'll go to hell. No, no. Oh, yeah, oh, absolutely. Whatever. I mean, you could call in, a treat. You could call in, your kitty. You could call in an ancestor. You could call in whatever you want. Whatever feels good and works for you, go for it. It's always perfect. Good question. Okay. Yeah, you don't have to necessarily do this, but definitely do find the frequency and note of each chakra every day and we'll be checking in on you and ask you how'd it go? How'd it go? Right. It's so effective. What's really the best is just when you notice, wait a second, my third chakra is like really tweaked, right? It's like when you check in, you go, where'd that come from? Oh, it was that little discussion or argument I had earlier today, right? Or you go, wait a second, my heart seems a little shut down today. Or I'm not really feeling my third eye at all. Actually, the one that happens for me, almost every time I do this, I have to like really activate my root chakra. I can do it really quickly, but my root chakra is not there. I'm really not that grounded. I'm flying all over the place, right? I can get in it I do hikes almost every day, so that really grounds me. Hiking is very good for the root. So, okay. Any questions about that? Okay. Let's look at the notes of the chakras. No one agrees on what notes the chakras should be. Although the most standardized is the C to B thing. C for the, let me play them for you. Okay, here's C for the root. Feel this in your root. D for the second. E for the third chakra. F for the heart. G for the throat. A for the third eye. And B for the crown. It really bugs me the crown is not. Ta-da! Right. It also bugs me that all of these different notes don't sound good together. That doesn't sound like a healthy chakra system. Right. In China, they have a system where they use the musical fifth for each chakra. Root, second, third, and so forth. Right. And when you play those all together, they sound beautiful. Right. That's really cool. Right. So also so they in that Chinese system, they use F as the root instead of uh instead of C. Right? And also in Tibet, they use A as the root. And around here, we believe that your root chakra is your home note. It's your metabolism frequency. I'm a B flat, and that B flat totally grounds me. It's so grounding. If I get a B flat bowl or play my song in B flat, I just love it. The note, which is the note of my heart rate, of the rhythm of my heart and brain when I'm at peace. We're going to find that. If you don't, we haven't found it for you already. We will be finding it in the finding your home note class. So I believe everybody's got a different root chakra. I've just heard of a system that uses B flat for the root. Someone was saying it's very cool. So no one agrees as to what notes are which.
Can your root note evolve over time as you change and evolve?
If it's your metabolism frequency, I don't think it does change because that affects your body type, and your body type doesn't change unless you have a big hormonal change or a walk-in, or maybe ayahuasca would do it. Who knows? You know? So generally, it doesn't change. So I think of it as very stable, actually, and that it actually doesn't change. That's my main concept because I just know that B flat grounds me so well, and then it would go up from there. The notes go up from there, and I find that actually D is my heart chakra for me, which happens to be a minor third above that.
David, I have a question. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
I'm wondering, since no one agrees on these notes, is it possible that different chakras have the same note? For example, maybe the root and the sacral?
Who knows anything for sure? So I have to say yes to that, but I would guess not.
Okay.
How's that for a wishy-washy answer?
Right. Fair enough. Thank you.
Yeah, that would be, it's interesting because again, when you do that previous exercise where we did the meditation here, I mean, it's so cool when you actually start going to the same note every time you do it. And you look at your N-track tuner, it's like, oh my God, it's the D now almost every time. And then you go, oh, that's mine. And what I found is when people have done that, because we used to require people to do that. Now we don't, but it's still really fun. And it was different for everybody. Find it yourself. Do the way of the shaman. get tuned in enough and still enough to hear it yourself instead of subscribing to any system that anybody else has come up with.
Yeah, that's sorry, just to add in, that's what I had been doing, and that's how I found in the past using the N track tuner that my root and sacral seem to be the same.
Oh, maybe they're different octaves too.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's true.
That's a possibility. I mean, if they are, they are. If that's what you're finding. Yeah, it's like the shaman doesn't go, okay, let's open the book and see what frequency this plant is and sing its song. No, the shaman tunes into it and finds the truth themselves. That's ultimately where you go. Just trust and ask. Okay, let's look at the frequency of the chakras. Again, with the frequency of the chakras, no one agrees with anybody as to what the actual frequency of the chakras are. So this system by Soma Energetics is based on the solfeggio frequencies, and that's one system. The frequency of the planets are funny because the lowest frequency is the third chakra. And then in the simotherapy frequencies for the chakras, the lowest frequency is the throat chakra. They're not even going low to high. Here's the frequencies I've come up with. I have about 30 hertz for the root. Ooh, lower than I can sing actually. And then about 100 is my second. And then the third is about 150. Ooh. And then the heart is about 200 for me, actually. It's a little lower. Ooh. So about ooh. And then the third throat is ooh. And then the third eye is higher than I can sing. If we were to sing it, it would probably be about 500. But it's actually around 3,000 for me. And that's way higher than I can sing, except for some people around here. Helena. Okay. And then we got the crown chakra for me is 10,000 hertz. That's, of course, way higher than I could sing. If I were to do it with the voice, I'd probably do about 500 or 600 hertz. Right? But the reality is it's around 10,000 for me. So these are the ranges that I've come up with as a recording engineer, knowing my frequencies quite well. Okay. Okay, so there's a couple of other problems with this C to B thing. The main problem, again, I actually prefer frequencies instead of notes. I don't relate to the notes very well. We've got like a 42-inch crystal bowl that's really bassy at the store. It's an A note, but that's not the third eye. It's so bassy. It's like I think of it totally as the root chakra. Then we have little bells that are really high frequency. Who cares what note they are? They're like the crown because they're super high frequency, right? So I prefer frequency over notes myself. I'm not a baby tosser. There's a lot of people really into the notes, really into them. You know, it's so funny. So many people are like, "Oh, this is it. F is the heart chakra." Well, if I have people find which note, I play the 12 notes and don't tell them what they are, people rarely choose F for the heart. Right? So I like to so but nobody goes, okay, the crown chakra is the high frequency is the root chakra. No, I've never heard anybody say that. So lows are always root and highs are always crown. That seems really consistent. Okay. So when you look at the actual C to B thing, there's another problem with this, and that is it's only one octave. There's a school of thought in sound healing that every frequency is a nutrient. So every frequency is a nutrient. And you need, in voice analysis, we're going to find what notes and frequencies are missing in your system. We're going to do a voice analysis. And the basic concept is you need all the frequencies. And if you're missing a frequency, you can have problems with a specific organ or a um, or even a learning disability. And different frequencies actually correspond that are missing correspond to different diseases. So you need the full spectrum. Every frequency is a nutrient. Well, if you're doing just C to B, you're not getting the full spectrum at all. You're only getting one octave. Right? Now, the Chinese system uses the musical fifth, so it goes a little higher, a little wider on the frequency range. Right? So if you do all 7, you do get a few octaves, or about 4 octaves, if you do all 7 chakras based on musical fifths. But you're still not getting all of them. So what I've done is I created this meditation that where every chakra is the same note. It's C, tuned to 432, by the way. And so the first chakra is a low C. Second chakra is a higher C. Third chakra is another octave above that. Fourth chakra is this one. And then it keeps going on up until you get all 7 chakras. And by doing that, you get just about the whole frequency spectrum, all the frequencies. So you get all the nutrients. So in this guided meditation, I'm going to walk you through all 7 chakras as the same note. And the cool thing is when they all play together, it's really harmonious instead of like this. Because they're octaves. Octaves are incredibly harmonious. And you can tune into all 7 simultaneously. Remember from the very first class I talked about tuning into multiple things takes you into another dimension where we've tuned into all frequencies at once. Right? That's oneness. So here we're going to have you tune into 7 different frequencies simultaneously. So you're going to get really high. And then I do a 5-minute slow fade. You might never move again. Definitely need headphones on this. There's a lot of low frequencies in this. And there's some cool visuals, but most people close their eyes anyway. I got some
Can I ask
interesting.
a quick question?
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, I noticed that the chakras, the frequencies that you stated were from 20 to 20,000, and that matches human hearing. Is that just happenstance, or is there a reason for that?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, there's also people that say there's 12 or 144 chakras. I mean, there's like all these other systems. I never thought about chakras going higher than human hearing. Maybe they do. But it's interesting because when I listen to the frequencies, 10,000 feels like it's right for me. So maybe they go up to 100,000. Who knows anything for sure around here?
Thank you.
I would bet not for some reason, but I hadn't really thought about it. I'll get back to you. Okay. So here we go. This is a 15-minute meditation. The whole goal is to tune into all chakras at once. Okay. Enjoy. Tune into the root chakra.
chakra to the lowest frequency you can hear in this music. Bring that frequency into your root. Now tune into your second chakra while keeping the frequency of the first chakra going. The second chakra is your emotions and sensuality. The second chakra is an octave higher. Hear both frequencies, lower and the higher. Both chakras at the same time humming. Third chakra while keeping the first and second present and humming with those two frequencies. The third chakra is your will and your internal power. Hear that frequency in the music. First chakra and second. Third chakra. All three going at the same time now. First chakra and second. Third chakra. Your heart chakra. All going at the same time now. First chakra. And second. Third chakra. Your heart chakra. Fifth chakra. All 5 chakras at the same time now. Now tune into the third eye, where you find your intuition. Hear that frequency in the third eye. First chakra. And second. Third chakra. Your heart chakra. Fifth chakra. Third eye. Now tune into the crown chakra. First chakra.